What is up, my fellow golf ball addicts? Welcome back to the channel. I have another golf ball review for you today. And I'll tell you what, grab your surfboard, grab your almond milk, grab your avocados. We are reviewing the LA golf ball. Let's dive in. All right, so this is one I've seen a couple of times. I've actually just seen them here and there, and I actually was able to pick up a couple of these from my dealer. And it's kind of interesting. LA golf ball, right now they're kind of getting a lot of fame and recognition because Bryson DeChambeau is a big fan of, I believe it's their shafts, and I know a lot of people are really liking their putters as well. Like, they're starting to grow their name out there, and they do have a golf ball as well. So I was super excited to try that out. So yeah, I mean, before we dive in, let's talk about the elephant in the room here. When I started doing my research, one of the big things on this channel is value. We talk about it all the time, and you guys know that. I love value. What you are getting versus what you are paying. It's incredible. A lot of the time you can get a golf ball for half the price that performs just as well. This golf ball is $69 a dozen. Now, granted, they do give you free shipping on that, but that's roughly about $14 more than the Pro V1, which, look, I'm just going to say it. I try to sugarcoat this sometimes, and I try to be nice. The reality is, now I have to hold this ball to such a high standard. $69 a dozen. I mean, I remember the clear golf ball was like $60 a dozen, and I harped on it. Even to this day, I still harp on it for trying to be that expensive. The reality is, I'm a firm believer that nothing should be more expensive than the Pro V1, period. It's the most selling golf ball out there. They already have a premium price hike on it. This just doesn't make any sense to me. So now this golf ball is going to have to absolutely just knock my freaking socks off. I mean, this golf ball is going to have to give me the best night of my life, and then by the time I wake up in the morning, it's already cooking me breakfast and nothing but an apron in the kitchen, if you catch my drift. Like, for this type of money, I don't know. We'll see. Now, I'm going to keep an open mind. I'm going to test the golf ball. We're going to just do it like we normally do, and let's hope for the best. Maybe it'll perform really, really well. So let's start off with the design of the golf ball. If you look on the front there, it says LA Golf Ball. I mean, it's a very simple logo. I do like the red at the end, though. It actually, I mean, I know that's a very simplistic logo, but it actually does look cool with that red on the ball at the end of it. But it's very simplistic. If you come around here on the side, it says Beverly Hills. That's a really boring alignment tool. I don't know. It's a really boring design considering the price of the golf ball. There's a lot of golf balls that have a lot of personality coming out right now. It does feel okay as far as its urethane coating and its polyurethane that's on the outside, but it just doesn't, I don't know. It's okay. I mean, it's not bad. If this was a direct-to-consumer golf ball, it was around $30 a dozen, this is what I would expect to feel. I mean, this is what it would normally feel and look like, but for this price, I would expect it to feel more Pro V1, more Callaway Chrome Soft, more Callaway Chrome Tour, more Wilson Staff, excuse me, more premium golf ball, and I just don't feel that here. So it's okay. It's an okay design. It's not bad. Let's go ahead and get out to the chipping and putting green. Let's see how we did out there. Just try one here, a little putting motion. Get it to check up. Okay, it was a miss hit, so we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. That was a good one. Okay, yeah, that's actually a healthy amount of check up, and it went relatively straight too. That's good. Again, try to get a little cut. Oh, that was pretty nice. Boy, not a lot of spin, really. I mean, I know I'm hitting a flop. It's not going to have a ton, but compared to the Legato, there we go. That should be good. Okay, so that had a little bit of check up. Not as much as the Legato, but relatively still pretty decent. My only fear is with this golf ball costing as much as it does, I almost wonder if that's going to kind of make the expectations a little too high. Let me close the face up here and just try to get a good bump and run check. Boy, yeah, just not the spin I was hoping for. Let's try another one here. There we go. Now that's the spin I'm looking for 70 a dozen. That's what I'm looking for. Let's try that one more time. All right, one more time here. Really close the face up. Really good. Boy, that's nice. Boy, a massive amount of check up there. I mean, when you really have the face closed and you hit those low spinny shots, that's what I would expect for 70, at least at the minimum for sure. I would almost expect it to come off like the Legato. I expect it to have a true roll. Yep, and I'm 100% right there. Oh, again, I hear the click. It's very mild. It's not obnoxious. I hope you can pick it up on the camera there, but I can feel a little bit of feedback in my hands. It's really beautiful. It's really more traditional. I talked about it with the Legato review about how it's been a while since I reviewed a traditional feeling and sounding golf ball. But once you get into these more firmer tour or $60, $70 golf balls, that's really how they should feel. It's one of the reasons a lot of people are still willing to spend that type of money on a golf ball, is because around the green they just get that consistency, which I understand, but if you get used to it, you can get used to the other way too. It's not a bad thing. One more time here. Wow, that is such a beautiful, true roll. No bouncy ball effect, no spring, really consistent. It's not going to be for intermediate or beginner players. You're going to want to know your way around of a putter for sure, because it requires the putter to come back so much further when you hit it. So interesting. Let's try the blade putter and let's see how we do there. All right, so now with the blade putter, I'm really interested to see how this feels. Oh wow, really loud click. I thought it was actually going to go way farther than that. It just didn't because of the traditional style feeling. Wow, again, like it takes so much more to get the golf ball there. I've been testing so many recently that have just sprung off the club. They don't require as much takeaway, but boy, this one is just a lot different. One more time here, validate the parking. I mean, it does feel good. That's actually a little heavy. I think I actually prefer it off the blade putter. I think off the blade putter, I really prefer it, or the mallet, excuse me. I'm so sorry, the mallet putter. Most of the time I prefer them off the blade, but the mallet, yeah, that's just a little too traditional. Like, see, I left it short again, even though I hit it perfect. So definitely some getting used to, but I think a lot of traditionals will really like it. And if you're using a mallet putter, boy, that's the way to go. It feels fantastic. All right, so LA golf ball around the green. You know, my summary of thoughts is, first of all, I'm really impressed with the spin, but part of me also in the back of my mind is saying, well, I should be. I mean, with the price and everything. And like I said before, I feel like when a golf ball is really high price, that puts so much pressure on it to perform at its max, because, you know, if I see a golf ball for $29.99, the expectations are like, hey, can it kind of hang? And then if it's $70 a dozen, my expectations are, no, it better be the best I've ever played, or if not, top 3 or top 5. And I did kind of feel like that going in here, but overall, I'm really impressed still. I mean, I look at the spin number there, as you can see, really high around the greens. There was a decent amount of forgiveness, despite the fact that it does feel more traditional and it feels more firmer. I love to see that. Once I got to the putter, just like the Legato, felt really traditional, had a really true roll, came off the club well. It checks every box. I'm actually really impressed with it. And the thing is that yes, it does cost a lot of money, but that's how it should perform if it does. And actually, it did a pretty decent job. Okay, so right before I go into the numbers here, I want to talk about the feel of the golf ball, crossed all clubs. I gotta say, LA Golf did a really good job here. This golf ball feels absolutely phenomenal. In fact, I feel pretty comfortable putting it at around a 10 out of 10. It actually blends the best of both worlds. It has the modern feel of being a little squishy, a little bouncy ball. You hit it just right, it feels like a rocket coming off the club. But it does have a little bit of that tour level feedback. You do know when you mishit it. It's very abundantly clear, but it's not obnoxious about it. It doesn't sting your hands. It doesn't like make you drop the club, or it doesn't give you this itch in your brain. It's just like a, hey buddy, you missed it. No problem, thank you for letting me know. But then when you hit it right, it claps for you and says, great job buddy, we love you. I love that. It's really a great 10 out of 10 feel, and boy, when you absolutely hit it pure, it's been a long time since I have felt that type of feel. Really good job there. But again, for the price, I would expect that. So let's dive into the numbers here. Let's start off with the 50-yard pitch. It is 6,786 on your RPM, which is unfortunately unacceptable. I mean, that's just all there is to it. My average is 7,788. Most of the time with tour level golf balls, I get around the 8,000 mark. Legato, I just tested the Legato ball. It was 8,400. I tested the Snell 4.0. That was 8,100. I mean, that's usually what I get. Getting under 7,000 on a 50-yard pitch with a golf ball that's this expensive, it just ain't going to cut it. You know, it just ain't. So let's go ahead and dive into the 9-iron now. 1.26 on your smash factor. Now that's actually pretty good. That's a good start there. 125.9. That is slightly above average. 125.9, that's slightly above average. 99.1 is slightly above average. 7,065, which is slightly above average, and then 26.6, which is actually a very high ball launch, which is not bad at all. Get a little more carry out of it, no problem. So here's another thing to keep in mind about these numbers as well. I actually had about 1.5 miles, 2 mile an hour slower swing speed than I have been getting with the previous balls. Trying to slow my swing speed down a little bit. I'm getting a little too fast with it, and I'm starting to spray the ball all over. So just trying to be a little bit more smooth with it. So I lost about 1.5 miles, 2 mile an hour. But those are really, when you put that in perspective, these are really nice numbers because I'm actually getting better than average with a slower swing speed. So if you bump that up, and let's say instead of 78 mile per hour with my 9-iron, I did 80 like my normal, I think this is 130. I think this is 131. I think, the ball speed's probably 102. I actually got 104 and 103 a couple times with the ball speed. So I know it doesn't look and jump off the page immediately, but when you put it into this perspective, I am super impressed with the 9-iron performance. I love that a lot. So that's off to a really good start there. I hope that continues. Let's dive into the 7-iron now. 1.38 on your smash factor, which again is really good. That's a good start. 156.2, slightly above average. 157.6, slightly above average. 113, very good. Very, very, very good. And I will say there was a couple times I got 117, 118, which is off the charts for my 7-iron. That's amazing. 5,900 on your spin, above average, and it launched this time actually a little lower at 17.7. So again, we put this into perspective. I don't like that the 9 launched high and the 7 launched low. I don't really like it when I start to see clubs differ that way. My swing speed was a little bit closer. This is actually pretty relative, but still, really good numbers there. It performs well. Everything's above average. Yards gained, good amount of spin. Nothing to complain about. Let's dive into the 5 hybrid now. Let's keep this going. 1.39 on your smash. I mean, the smash factors have been pretty much the best I've tested so far. They're right up there with the top of the line. 177.2, 180.1, 122.4, all kind of around the average. 49.29 is a little less than average. 15.3 is launching just a tad low, but it's not too bad. This golf ball performs better than average. It absolutely does. It's better than average. So, love those numbers. I will say that one thing I really enjoyed is at one point I thought, I need to see what this golf ball can do. And so I kind of just put everything I had into it and really got one, caught it right in the center of the face, and I was able to get 130 mile an hour ball speed. I've never touched that number before with my hybrid ever. So I gotta say, you hit this ball correctly and you hit it well, not only does it feel incredible, but it gets that ball speed. There's no doubt about it. Driver smash factor, this is the first time we just kind of have an average here, 1.43, 219.4, 228.1. Both of those are below average. 137 is definitely below average. 23, 26, that's actually a really, really good spin number. I like that a lot. And then it launched high at 16. So again, there's a little bit there. I think I swung 1 mile an hour less than I normally do, so there's really not too much of a difference there. That's disappointing. I really was hoping the driver would do a lot better, but that just seems to be kind of average. Maybe, it's a 4-piece layer, so maybe at that point it just, I don't know, maybe it just wasn't compressing as well as much as I'd like it, but I'm really disappointed in the driver. I was hoping it would still be above average, but it just kind of ends up a little bit mediocre. All right, so we'll talk about the durability here real quick. Looking at this golf ball, it is torn to pieces, but that is not the ball's fault. That is my fault. I have hit this golf ball between testing it on the course and testing it out here. It's probably been hit like 120 times, 130 times. There's a lot of scuffing from the sand. We've had a lot of wet conditions, recently. It's pretty torn up, but I absolutely have no hesitation to tell you that this golf ball will last a whole round. It absolutely will. It has really good durability. It's going to last you the whole round, as it should. You might be able to squeeze a round and a half if the conditions are right. So I'd give it like an 8, 9 out of 10, probably 9 out of 10. It's actually really good on durability, which I would expect. So final thoughts, it's a shame because it's a good golf ball. I actually enjoy it. I mean, there's things I like, there's things I don't like. I'm not big on the design of it. There's a lot of golf balls out there that have a way better design that I think are cooler, have better alignment tools to line your ball up. Performance-wise, the spin around like 50-yard pitches, not the best. Could have definitely been better. As far as the performance with 9, 7, 5 hybrid, great, awesome. Driver, and you know, it's okay for a golf ball to have a lot of this. There's a lot of golf balls I test that have a lot of that. You know what I mean? But it just goes back to the price point. If you're going to charge me $70 a dozen, I expect everything to be amazing. I just do. Right now, you know, one of the best golf balls we've ever tested on this channel was the Sugar golf ball. It's $60 for 27 golf balls. $69 for 12 golf balls. One of them is one of the best golf balls I've ever tested on the channel, and one of them is going to end up, you know, out of the top 100, this might end up like in the 50s. So I don't want to go on a big super rant there about that. But yeah, that would be my recommendation. Find a way to lower the price a lot, and then really just focus on, you know, maybe improve the design of it a little bit. I mean, LA is supposed to be glamorous. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be flashy. It's supposed to be, you know, entertainment capital of the world. I don't know, spice it up a little bit, you know what I mean? Lower the price and spice it up a little bit. But, I mean, there's some stuff to build on here for sure. But not my cup of tea. I think there's a lot of golf balls that you could spend 1/4 of the price, 1/5 of the price, and get really, honestly, better results. So, guys, as always, keep watching, keep saving, and keep learning. Until next time.